Hey, everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, and trainings and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle. Today is Tuesday, and we have the digital diva in the house, Terry Johnson, online from New York City. She's here. She's bringing it, people. She's bringing it. So sit back, relax. Welcome to the broadcast today. All you who are watching live and on the replay, TJ, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Marketing Talk, where we talk about all things marketing, marketing strategy, content marketing, because things have changed. They're constantly changing, and we have to talk about what's old and what's new. So we've been talking about little pieces here and there, but I call this the opportunity to connect because I really want people to understand. And I mean, business owners. When I say people, I mean business owners because we're not talking about influencer. The influencer marketing track, which that is changing also, we'll talk about later. Good morning, Dr. Tachi. Hey. So I share a lot of things with if you don't know Mario Armstrong, he's doing a lot of stuff, but right now he's into brand sponsorships, helping people get sponsorship deals, brand deals where they're not uh building their brand or starting their social media account and doing piecemeal content. Like, okay, the brand pays them $100 for a piece of content, and no, he's like, the money is there for a bigger piece of the pie. Like, you don't go for a piecemeal deal, you go for you pay for a year or you pay for a block, and you get much more than you think. So he's in that space, and whenever I see something about influencer marketing, I always try to share it with him. So that's why I'm keeping up with influencer marketing, because otherwise I wouldn't pay attention to it, because it's like, okay, it's not, not the thing you talk about. But what I mean about the opportunity to connect is, I'm always talking about social media is the thing. Social media is the place to be for everyone. And I've said it before. We look at business marketing and advertising throughout history. You always focus your efforts on where the attention is. And it's social media. Now, social media is this big ball of thing. It's a big ball of wax where people, parents are upset because the kids are doing this and this is doing that, and people are getting hacked. And we saw this week that the internet for a lot of people went down. The network went down. But that's a part of the world we live in, technology, where I said on Friday, I said things don't stay up 100%. But we're in a world where we depend on technology and digital everything, connectivity. That's not going to change. We are not going back to paper and pen. Paper and pen will exist. Books will exist in their paper form. But the way that everything is connected, and you see it after Friday, I hope everybody saw that. That one thing can take it down. The good thing that comes out of that is that there will be a fix for it. We will plug that hole. And I said on Friday that the fear, especially for the government, was that a foreign entity would do that. What happened on Friday? The fear is that a foreign adversary our enemies, pick one. There's tons. Pick one. Doesn't have to be the top one. It could be any of the others. That was the top government's the government's fear. The top fear was that someone would take us out that way, because we're connected. We're connected, network, digitally, take it how you will. And there's a discussion about Microsoft and this and that. We went in that Friday, so look at that. But what I want you to look at is that the road goes forward. There are more technology advances to come. One, we know about blockchain. There'll be others that we do not know of. Remember, we didn't focus on generative AI until maybe a year and a half ago, November 20. It's been so long, I forgot. November 2023 or 2022. 22 or 20, one of those. That's how it's integrated into our lives. So we have to get comfortable with that. We have to learn the road ahead. We have to learn how to deal with it. You have to learn how to use this tool. You got to learn how to use this screwdriver to do something good, build a Habitat for Humanity house. Always use that example. Or people are using it for bad as a weapon to harm someone. But is that the screwdriver's fault? No, it's just a tool. It's like I'm here, a hammer. I'm just here, but some people have the intent of using it to harm, and some people have the intent of using it to hammer a nail in a frame to make a house for someone who is unhoused. That's the nature of it. So you can't get mad with the screwdriver. You can't get mad with the hammer. Fire. You can't get mad with fire. Fire has a good side and a bad side, but we've learned to, what I mean is we've learned to tame it. We will learn how to tame technology for humankind to the betterment of society. It does not look like that now. But think about fire. Did fire look good to the Neanderthal man or whatever period it was when they was like fire? And there's a movie that made jokes about it. I'm thinking Mel Brooks. Dr. Tachi might know what movie it was. It was some thinking Mel Brooks. Could be anybody. But there was, they made a joke about fire. So that's where we are. I say fire, electricity, television, radio, whatever the thing was that brought us out of a dark age into a new technology age. It has happened before. All you have to do is look at history. That's all I'm saying. Yes, it's scary, but there will be good things coming out of it, and it has to be tamed. So now, what does that have to do with the opportunity to connect? Because we have to take advantage of the tool. We have to use this screwdriver to build a house, a home for humanity, a habitat for humanity. We have to use it to help people in need. Um, there was some story I just thought about it. It just went away. Sorry. Where people were giving, okay, the GoFundMe phenomenon, right? There's some GoFundMe. Some of them has been, scams, most of them, but there's been some good ones, and I've given to some good ones. I'm like, okay, that looks like a good cause. I think one of the ones that I gave to, this has been a while. I really don't give a lot to GoFundMe because I'm like, I know this is a scam. But there was a lady, I forgot what city it was, that she took in this young woman who didn't have parents or whatever, and she was pregnant, and she took her in, and she had other kids, but she took them in out the goodness of her heart. I think she was a nurse or something. But she took them in, and the story got on the news, and it was like they were doing a GoFundMe for something. I don't remember what it was, but I gave to that because I was like, I connected with this story. This lady is doing something good. She needs help. She needs help. A few dollars is going to help them. Why? Because this is a young lady that was lost. Something about her parents or something that touched me. She didn't have parents, or she was I don't remember. I have to look it up. But it's the fact that, okay, there's an opportunity to do good. Now, on the other side of that is people who go, they're cynical. They're just like, there's no good people in the world. I'm just gonna not help. I'm not going, and that's fine. But there will be enough people who will see the realness, the authenticity of it. And again, I'm thinking, if this story isn't real, well, they got $5-10 out of me. That's not gonna hurt me. So that's how I look at it. But on the other hand, if it is, and I think this is genuine because they did they did a background story, the news talked to them and did the interviews, and they showed the faces, and just from me listening to the woman, I think she was a nurse, just listening to the woman and what she was saying, why she felt compelled to do what she did out the goodness of her heart. That is something that I connected with and went, okay, then that spurs the action. So I want you to look at the opportunity, connect, and it spurs the action. The opportunity is there. And I always say followers, it's not about followers anymore. It's not about, well, I got a million followers, going to make a million sales. That's not going to happen. That's not how it happens. It looks that easy. I'll just post a post and something will happen. That's why I brought up the GoFundMe, because people will post, a GoFundMe, and then, oh, the GoFundMe got $2 million, and people are looking at that going, wow, well, let me do a GoFundMe. But see, there's a purpose behind that. There's some pain behind that. It's not just, oh, well, I'll just post and people will just give to me. What is the thing we say? If you post, they will come. That's not true. That's not true, right?
Nope, they're not coming just because you posted. That's why people are mad now, because you keep reminding us that people are not seeing my post. Okay, whatever. We saw your post and we're still not coming.
And it's still happening. I think Adam is still posting things on his Instagram. I think he posted something. I might have mentioned this on Friday. He posted something last week, and the people are like, "You're gaslighting us. Stop gaslighting us. We
Okay,
don't."
I
Yeah.
gotta. I just had an observation. When he posts,
Mm-hmm.
people listen, or they right.
They just want to
So
be argue with him, because the thing that they say is, we want chronological. It's still there. It's been like 2-3 months. We want chronological back, and I have 30,000 followers. Please show my post to all 30,000 followers. And he's done video after video after video saying that's not how it works, because Instagram is a company that has to keep up with the competitors. The competitor is TikTok.
right,
TikTok doesn't work by following. It
no,
works.
but what I don't know if this is irony or not. We're still looking at his posts, right? He posts something and we get the notification and we get to see what he has to say, or we don't listen to his post or read his post. But the point you were making is posting it and they will come. Well, we're coming to him because his posts have something we want to see, apparently. And all of the other people who are crying about not anybody seeing their posts is because they perhaps do not have anything we want to see.
That's it exactly.
Oh,
You are not posting things that your target audience wants to see. You're posting what you want to post.
hmm.
And this is what, when I say business owners are in love with their business, they're in love with their product, they're in love with their service, they're in love with their baby. I bring up the Seinfeld episode. Oh, come see our baby. The baby is beautiful. And they get there and they were like, that's an ugly baby. So they were like, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. And but then I think one of the characters said, well, that's an ugly baby. And you're not, but that's what it is. So Adam is calling out your ugly baby, and they are mad. But instead of getting mad, take the criticism, do something constructive with it, because he could just not say anything. That's what gets me. He could not say anything and let you guys falter in the wind. He comes on all the time, even though he's getting arrows and poison darts, and he knows that the people are going to push back on it, but he does it anyway. He does it anyway. So I give him credit for that, because a CEO does not have to speak to you. Most of them don't. Most of them aren't concerned about the end user, the person buying the product. Most of them aren't. They're just, okay, profit. We got to get the profits up 5% this year. We got to get to make shareholders happy. This is what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about you. Be happy that he's doing it, because there is an opportunity to connect. So I just saw here today, he got something else. He's starting to highlight accounts. He's starting to highlight Instagram accounts to give them a boost. But I haven't read the comments on the last reel or video, but I'm pretty sure they're in there. Stop gaslighting us. Give us what we want. Blah blah blah. And I'm real sick of it. I'm real sick of it. And the thing is, even if you make great content and everything is good, and I'm not, people aren't engaging. There's no comments. There's no this. There's no that. Remember, we talked about the lurkers, the silent people that buy. They don't need to make a comment. You've put your messaging out so well that you have the product and the service, they go and buy. Boom. And there's no need to like, comment, share, whatever. Those things are what you want because you want to boost up in Instagram or Facebook or whatever. But if you look at your KPI, your key performance indicator, as a business, that is sales and revenue. I don't care how the sales and revenue get in my bank account. I just want to see it go up. So are things happening online to where that is happening? Your KPI? Think about what your KPI is. If you're not a business owner, you still have one. What is the one goal, the top goal that you want to achieve? The opportunity to get that is on social media because everybody's on social media. That's why I talk about the I bring you studies to say this is the popular app or this is what people going on. We talked last week about the smartphone and where searching is going. Those things are important because you have to know where the attention is going. It doesn't stay in one spot because you want it. This is what people they want. Oh, why are things it should be the way that it was 10 years ago? Well, no. That's why I tell you my pet peeve is when I'm searching online and I see a blog post or something that looks interesting, I check the date. That's the first thing I check because I'm like, if this is old info, it's not going to do me any good. Instagram has changed so many times. Google, people are starting to complain about Google, that Google has changed so much that the SEO practices that you do to get your search traffic for your website, those things have changed. I've seen those conversations, but it doesn't mean that you don't have a website. Because why? Because people will search for that. People will look for that and say, "Hey, you're not online. It's 2024. You should have some kind of presence." I'm not saying that you have this elaborate, expensive website, but you should have some kind of presence. It should be on social media. It should be on. You should have some kind of thing on the internet that's not social media. I don't care what it is. It could be a Substack. We've been talking about Substack, and I bring that up because I put my first Substack post on. I spent some time. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of just talking about what I gotta, it's on the list. So this weekend I did it. I posted it was like late Saturday. I was like, I didn't care about the time. I was just like, I wanted to get this thing out. Because I wanted it to get out. I want to see what happens. I want to see what kind of reaction. And then I'll be like, okay, in a few days, I'll post something else. And then I'll figure out Substack. Because there's a lot of things in there. There's a lot of moving parts. But if you sit around and wait for the perfect time or the perfect whatever, it's never going to happen. Just do it. Throw it out there. It looks raggedy. Who cares? You can improve it. That's why people say start a YouTube channel. Why? Because you can improve upon it. I've discovered somebody on YouTube this week that is a guy. He's talking politics. He's just a guy sitting in his garage. The backdrop is his garage. Like, I know that's his garage. The lighting is horrible. It's not well lit. But I like what he says. And his videos are 5 minutes. He says what he says, and he's out. Now, he may put up a bunch of 5-minute videos, but I like that concept because guess what? That's a place to grow from. The opportunity to connect. It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. If you're not growing on Instagram and you're not happy, move to Pinterest, move to YouTube, move to TikTok is still TikToking. I put up some videos on TikTok. I was like, oh, these did 700 views. But I don't care about that. I just wanted to put it up and see what was going on because I got a link. And I got to do better about telling people to go to the link. My thing is going to be go to the go to the link. Because that's all I care about because TikTok may be gone in January 2025. And people go, well, they can't. Yes, they can. The government can ban IP addresses. Oh, did you know that? So if TikTok ban goes in, There's going to be, you go to TikTok.com, your ISP is not going to serve it to you. That's how it works. Oh, it's going to be in the apps. They're going to tell Google and Apple to remove it. It's just files. Remove the files. Google says, yes, Uncle Sam. I wonder if they still say Uncle Sam. That was a thing. Yes, President, whoever, by order decree by the United States of America, whatever agency, DOJ, FBI, CIA, whoever, put the alphabet letters in there. Doesn't matter. Take this down. It will be taken down. So people that are saying it can't happen, it can happen. I'm not saying it will, but it can. So be prepared. But in the meantime, it's still tick-tocking. Get on there, put your stuff up, tell people to go to your link. Your link will be whatever it is place that you want them to go. YouTube, Instagram, your website, your this, your Substack, your whatever. The place that you're going to have more control over. I wouldn't do Instagram. You can. I've seen people do the Instagram, but I would suggest if you have a Substack or a newsletter or MailChimp or what, that should be your page that you set up with that account. Because you've got a better chance of controlling that. See, an opportunity to connect. So it's there. These platforms, social media platforms, are not here to give you anything. You're expecting them to help you and give. They may have done that in the early days because they needed you to be on. They needed people, users, to post and to be happy and interact and share and like and comment and this and that. But then, like I said, these are businesses. They must have revenue, cash to operate, or else they die. They're not charities. So here we are. We have all of this information. There's an opportunity to connect. Some people decide to sit around and complain. Well, you won't do what I want to do. And okay, you can be a 2-year-old. Go in the corner and throw your temper tantrum. A parent knows to let that kid go over there and kick it out. Kick it out. Scream it out. Close the door. Push them over here because they're going to tire themselves out and go to sleep. There's no, oh, Sally, John, what can I do to help you? No, ignore them. They want attention. They don't know how to control their emotions. So you let them go over there and self-soothe and figure it out. They'll figure it out. Just put them somewhere where they can't hurt themselves. That's it. What do they do in preschool? The teachers, they got a little corner over there with little toys, and it's padded and it's blocked off from the other kids. Johnny, go over in the corner. And they go over there and they do whatever, and then the silence because the kid is, they have to run themselves out. So that's what this is. This is how I see it, as these people complaining about Instagram. I'm like, tire yourself out. I'm going to be over here using this opportunity to connect. Oh, Instagram isn't working. Well, I'm still going to do Instagram, but I'm going to go over here to the Substack. And I'm going to, oh, this looks good because I can connect. Did you know that you can connect your podcast? Did you know that you can put a YouTube link and have them go to your YouTube or whatever it is, your LinkedIn, or it's all there. You just have to put the pieces together and put it together in a fashion that gets your message across and provides value and is helpful and is something they want. Otherwise, they're gone. That's it. I mean, I don't understand what the problem. I mean, I do. But I'm like, you guys are over in the corner kicking and screaming like a 2-year-old, terrible twos, having a tantrum, when you could be over here with the rest of the kids getting story time or getting a snack or going to the park or whatever the thing is that making these children happy. That could be you. But you want to sit over here and make Instagram do what you want to do because that's how it was in the past. Well, that's not happening. So the opportunity to connect is there. Why? Because it is the place to be. The mall used to be the place to be. The market used to be the place to be. What else used to be the place to be that people hung out? The town square. Those are all things in the past. If people are online, be there. Don't be the grumpy old man, or the grumpy old person. Oh, back in my day, we read books. We still read books. We use this, or they use their phone. But their books will still be there because there'll be people like the grumpy old man that want the book. There, here you go, old man. But we're over here, we're over here reading it on this because this is always in our hand. And then whatever the next piece of technology that arrives, we'll use that. Why? Because it's convenient. It gives us what we want. It saves time. All of those things. So you can sit over here to the left and be grumpy, or you can come over to the right and ride this opportunity to connect. Use it correctly. That's what we're here talking about. Strategy is your guide to using it correctly. Now, here's the bad part. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of strategies. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle. It could be 1,000, it could be 1,000,000 pieces puzzle. What are those puzzles that have the 10,000 pieces? And you're like, I don't know, man. But during the pandemic, that came in handy. But any other day, it was like, I ain't got time for that. I don't have time for a 100,000 piece puzzle. But during the pandemic, when everything shut down and you had to slow down, that 1,000 or 100,000 piece puzzle was like something to do. Something to do. So that's what I mean about the opportunity to connect. Is there any comments, questions before because I have some notes that we need to.
This okay, from what I heard, we need to take every opportunity to connect with our
Yes.
target audience.
Yes.
And if they're on your list, like if you already have a target audience and you mentioned Substack makes it really easy to connect with your target audience. They make it easy for you to get them into Substack where you can interact with them. You can send them a post. It's much easier now. Instagram is not that easy to interact. You got to do a little bit of work. You put your videos up and then you got to do this and scrolling and all kind of stuff. With Substack, they are sitting in the seat just waiting for you.
And here's the good thing about Substack. If you've already got a list somewhere else, you can import it. That's what I did. And then it showed me in the analytics, like these are the people in Substack that opened and read your latest post. And these are the people that open from email. There's all kind of analytics in there, which I was really happy about. And like I said, you say you're going to do these things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But you have to do them because you're sitting back going, well, it has to be perfect, or I don't know, or whatever. Just get in there. Sometimes you need a swimming lesson, and sometimes you can jump in the shallow end, not the deep end, the shallow end of the pool, and start. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing. Let me try it. And you stay your head above water. That's really the most important thing.
Right.
And then the rest comes. So that you want to look at the Substack. And you don't have to use Substack.
There's so many others. It's just a place. Where are your people gathering to hear your voice?
Yeah.
Apparently Instagram is not where they're gathering to hear you, but they are gathering somewhere.
Instagram is there, but remember, Instagram is looking at the competitors and not looking at the users. The competitor is TikTok.
And yes, but I'm talking about even after TikTok, you want them to come over to my house and let me show you more.
Right.
It's okay. One thing you talked about a couple of weeks ago was touch points. Instagram is a touch point to get them to go somewhere else.
Yes.
Get them to, not get them, to invite them to the next step.
Yeah.
It's a touch point.
Opportunity to connect.
Right. TikTok is a touch point to invite them to connect for more.
And this just happens that TikTok is popular among Gen Z, and That's where they congregate. But if TikTok goes away next year, those people have to go somewhere. Gen Z has to go somewhere. And we've talked about that. It might be YouTube, it might be Instagram. It may fracture and go to different little specialty apps. We've talked about the No Place. That's the latest one where Gen Z is like, looking, we're shopping for a new house. The shopping for a new house because this house, something's going on. I might have to move out.
It's about to be condemned.
The contractor said, "Oh, I gotta do something here. You might have to move out. It might be permanent. I don't know, but we'll look at that." So that's what it is. House shopping. Where do we go? What neighborhood do we go to? Where do I feel comfortable? What the kids gonna like? Is this a good school? Is it what's the crime rate over there? What's all of those things?
Yes.
All of those things. And they're subjective and it's based on timing, like seasonal. When you gonna move? What's the best? Well, how are the winters over here? Because I know, like, if I move to certain places in New Jersey, the winters and the snow it's not gonna be pleasant because I work in the city and I need to commute from this nice suburb and I got to get into the city every day and I got to use the GWB and there's all of those factors that go into it. So that's what we need to look at. So that's why I said TikTok, that ban is like 9 months away, maybe 6 to 9. It's in the court system. You see how cases go. You see what's going on with 45 in his cases. You think, oh, it's a slam dunk. You think, but then somebody throws a monkey wrench, a monkey wrench into the works. So we can think about what's going to happen in January, but we won't know until we get to December. And then we'll be like, okay, well, what's the temperature? What's going, what's the talk? What's the rumble? Then you decide. So it's like, you need to buy a new house. You need to move, not immediately in 6 months. And it's like, okay, the process is going to be long.
Right.
So many factors. We got to make so many decisions. That's what it is here. And I always say you don't have to be on every platform. You don't have to be on Threads. You don't like Threads, you don't have to be there. Some people like it over there. You don't like Pinterest, you don't have to be there. But if you have a website and you've got lots of information and lots of posts, you might want to be there because you take all that content that you've made up and all you got to do is make a graphic and pin it and point them to your blog post. That's how you get more traffic. See, but you got to learn the language of Pinterest. You got to learn the language of Threads. There's a language to Threads. If you go to Threads and get interactive and start talking to people and reading the posts, you get a feel for, well, what's the dialect here? They'll tell you. And you can ask. They'll tell you. Yes. And I've seen it. We don't want to be X. We don't, the stuff that's going on in X, we don't want that over here. Now, they can't stop that, but it's pretty much, depending on what part of Threads you hang out on, they're policing their little, they're policing the sidewalk. They're cleaning the sidewalks and making sure there's no trash. They're like, hey, we don't want this to be Threads. X. We don't want this to be X. So it depends on the platform that you go to. You can go to LinkedIn, but remember, LinkedIn is more networking, B2B, B2C, more business oriented. They're doing a little bit of entertaining over there, but you have to realize, okay, they don't like the TikTok stuff or what goes on Instagram. It's more, let's keep a little decorum over here. You can have some fun, but not too much. So it depends on the strategy that you set, the KPI you want, the key performance indicator. What is the one main goal that you want to reach? How are we going to get there? We got to put the roadmap out. We got to, plan our trip in the car system. Is there road closures? Is this bridge is out, or you can't take that? We used to take this. We can't. All of those things. That's why I call it a customer relationship journey, a customer journey. So you have to look at those things. Now, why I thought about this was an old article from 2019. But I always say, we can't go back to the information that was there. But this one is more relevant now than ever. So I want to pull that up and show you. And we'll talk a little bit about it. You may remember this. Now okay, let me make sure it's there. Okay, so let's look at this. Anybody remember that? An Instagram star with 2 million followers couldn't sell 36 t-shirts, and a marketing expert said her case isn't rare. This was from May 30th, 2019. I remember this. This was a person on Instagram. I'm not sure if she's there. I didn't check. But her Instagram handle is there. Let me see. Okay, she's still there, but she's doing something different. She has 2.6 million followers right now. But what happened? And let me go back here to the article. Let me close that. She got all these millions of followers and decided to create a t-shirt line. Cause I got 2 million followers. That's 2 million sales in her mind. And this was 2019. Followers don't equal sales. Applicable back then, applicable now. So she got her feelings hurt. She was disappointed. So let's read it. And that's not her. That's just a stock image of a Gen Z girl on the phone. And let's take a look at this. This is Business Insider, which they have lots of good stories. So she deleted the post, but she said she was launching a clothing line, but had to sell 36 items from the initial drop in order for the company, the t-shirt company, to continue producing them. So they were saying, that the Instagram, she didn't promote it well. People were saying, well, hey, you're an influencer. This doesn't work. It does work. It does work. But she didn't do things properly because she's thinking, I got 2 million followers. All I got to do is post the t-shirt and people just buy it. So she decided to launch her own clothing line, ERA, with an initial drop of t-shirts. She was 18 at the time. And she thought her huge follower count would translate to sales, but that's not the case. That's not ever the case with social media. So she deleted a post to see if it's not found. She's from Miami. And she needed to sell 36 t-shirts from the first run for them to continue printing. She didn't hit the target of 36 t-shirts. So in the caption that she deleted, she said that she knew it was going to be hard, but that she was getting such good back that the people loved it and were going to buy it. No one has kept their word, so now the company won't be able to send out the orders to people who actually bought S word, and it breaks my heart. The people I thought who would support me really didn't, nor did they share any of all my posts. All I asked for sounds BS, but like no shade to anyone. I've supported everyone's music or whatever they've asked for my support on it, and I couldn't even get it in return. So there's her post. It was deleted. So she had to refund the money because they weren't going to get the t-shirts. And she said she takes this experience as a wake-up call to work harder. Now that was 2019, and then here's was a post on X saying the influencer bubble is not a thing, blah 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 blah. So let me get this link. And again, this is old, 2019, but I wanted to highlight this because followers don't equal sales. Here's an 18-year-old girl. I commend her. She had an idea. She saw the business opportunity. She saw the opportunity. She didn't execute it well.
That part.
And yeah, she didn't execute it well. See, that's a part of it. There's the opportunity to connect, but you have to execute well.
And
executing, that's the hard part. The strategy. Go ahead.
Right, because she didn't have a backup. The t-shirt company, I'm like, I don't know who she used, but she could have used somebody that had print on demand because it was out there back in the day. And she might have just been stuck on a particular type of shirt or what have I don't know what the deal
Well,
was,
see,
but
yeah, I don't know the deal either. But even if she did POD, it still wasn't going to be a sale because that's not how it works. I have
no,
2 million followers. I get 2 million sales. That's not
I
how it works.
understand, but all she needed to do
Mhm.
was sell 36 shirts. I was like, okay.
Well, that's because she probably, went in. I don't know the details. I just knew that I was like, okay, she didn't sell. She probably may have had locally because they're not going to make 36 t-shirts a big print run. And Dr. Tati knows this if she's still here because she does the t-shirts. I'm
She
thinking
does.
if she's doing it with a local company, they want large orders. They don't operate on piecemeal 3640. POD does, but then there's another
Right.
side and cost to that. There's
Right.
quality issues and whatever. But she's thinking I'm gonna start a clothing line with
Yeah.
t-shirts, and it's
She
it's easy.
No,
It's
it's
one, two,
not just
three.
because you got 2 million followers. Those
Mm-hmm.
and then when she got a little
Mm-hmm.
snippy, I'm like, then then
Well,
you're messing with the other 2 million. They're like, okay, we don't need to be
well,
here. Okay, you don't need to get
also
snippy.
remember back in 2019, there were a lot of bots. Instagram tried to clean up the bots now, but back then, I don't think she had 2 million followers.
I think he had 2 million bots. I agree.
She had a bunch of bots because bots don't buy.
And she may have bought the bots thinking that,
They, yeah, that was a
because,
big thing back then, buying followers. Yeah, so
right. Mm,
I just want to highlight the thought process of I have 2 million followers, I get 2 million sales. And people still think that way today. And that's why I want to talk about it today. It ties into what's going on with Instagram, what people say about TikTok going down. My business, I'm not going to have a business. I'm like, well, you don't have one if it depends on TikTok being up and available. That means you don't have a business. Because when you have a business, it travels. You pack that suitcase up and go to another platform. Heck, you could stand on the corner and sell something. That's
right.
a business.
Okay, because McDonald's is a business. I
Hmm.
don't know how many followers they have, but they're a business. And
Well, they used to put what that's remember they had to sign over 2 billion sold or whatever billion sold.
right,
That was their thing. That was one of their touch points where you saw that and you were like, "Ooh, that's a lot of burgers. Let me go in there and check it out." I mean, but McDonald's is one of those brands now where it's like you don't. There's no mystery. You
right.
know what it's about.
But they they were they weren't dependent upon their
Hmm.
followers.
Hmm.
They were
Right.
dependent. They've been building their
Right.
list.
That came after the numbers came after the fact. And actually there was there's a series on I think it's National Geographic or one of those channels. They talk about the food that built America, something, and it's a series. McDonald's was one of them, and I watched some of it. But there's also a movie with I think it's Michael Keaton that he
Yeah,
plays the guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a whole backstory behind the beginnings, the origins of McDonald's. And I gotta watch that movie. I haven't watched it yet because
It's
I'm
very
interested in
good.
that.
It is
Yeah,
very
but
good.
Dr. Toddy says the interesting thing about the article is that people think the followers plus sales they don't always convert. Exactly my point. That doesn't mean followers don't mean sales. Sales means sales. Sales equals sales. Followers on social media is a vanity metric. It makes you feel good. Oh, I've got 2 million followers. They could be bots. They could sign up for Instagram and not ever open the app again. Lots of factors.
Or
So
what? Or what about in the real world? If you had 200 friends, are you inviting all them 200 friends to your house to a party? All of them ain't showing up.
yeah. Oh, you remember this? You selling Tupperware and you have a party and you have people come over. How many people you invite is not how many people show up. It's
That
always
part.
been a thing. This is not new. It's always been a thing. It's just people think that social media is an ATM machine where you walk up and you put a card in and the money spits out. It can be that, but your process, your system has to be super, super tight, Superman tight, has to work. The messaging has to be tight. You have to know everything. Everything has to be in place. Everything. Copy, human psychology, knowing what to say, being in the right place at the right time. All of these things go into that. And people just think, oh, it's social media, so easy. I'll just get my teenager to post. Well, you can, but your audience isn't teenagers. Because this is what a lot of people think about TikTok. Oh, I'll just get my grandchild to. You can, but that's not what it's about. And we talked about TikTok being the wave. First wave is always Gen Z. The first wave is always the youth. Then every other generation comes because it gets talked about, it gets shared about, and you can see it for yourself in real time. Remember when we didn't have social media? Anybody remember that? And then all of a
Oh, you
sudden,
mean
people were
the days before MySpace, the days
people were
before.
Twitter. People were talking about Twitter. Oh, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. I would see it everywhere. The news, even the news would do it. Follow us on Facebook. Remember that? Nobody said that anymore because the wave of it has passed where it's ingrained into. I already know to go find you on Facebook. You don't have to tell me. You should
Right.
have a Facebook. Everybody should have a Facebook, regardless of how you feel about it or whatever. I have to look up the stats. Whatever users amount they have, daily active users, monthly active users, I got to look at that stats. But most of the time, people know that you're on Facebook. People will search for you on Google or wherever they search for. It will pull up a Facebook, an Instagram, and X. So you decide where you want to be. But that's how it works.
Yep.
There's the opportunity to connect. It's like the newspaper, remember? Oh, I have a new business. What would you do? Call
Put
up
an
the
ad in the
newspaper.
paper.
What would you do on the radio? A
Oh,
new business.
you take an ad out on the radio station.
Yes. Or you had a sign, you had a little sandwich sign, those little the little sandwich signs that the with the chalkboard, and or you had somebody hand out flyers, or you went to the, if you had food, you go to the grocery store with your little samples. Hey, this is the new chicken sausage. Well, chicken sausage is something that people don't want to buy, so you have to give them a taste, and then they go, oh, that's good, and you have it right there for them to put in their cart. Those kind of things, they still work. They still
Right.
work.
And word of mouth is
That too.
word of mouth on social media is when somebody shares your content.
Yes. And these are all the things that people want, especially on Instagram. But again, we've talked about how if nobody comments, shares, likes, or whatever, but you're still getting sales, what is that a sign of? That
Uh,
your messaging is working.
right. Because you are actually getting people coming through the door and
They're going
buying
right to
whatever
buying.
you have.
Yeah, they're going right to buy. The
They're
jewelry
not.
store. I
uh,
need an engagement ring. They're coming in with an intent. And either they scoped it out, or the guy is walking by, or girl, it could be guy or girl now, and they walking by, or this is how it translate online. They're on social media, and your ad pops up, or your thing pops up, or a friend shares something from your jewelry store, and that person is like, I'm in the market to buy an engagement ring. I'm in the market to buy a piece of jewelry. This place looks good because my friend shared it and I saw it.
Word
That's
of
it.
mouth.
You could still do that, and you could still run it, and you could do both. The opportunity to connect. You could still run ads. You could still do word of mouth. You could still do user generated content. You could still do influencer marketing. You can still do organic posting. It's just that organic posting is to the point where your messaging has to be perfect. Your content has to be perfect. It wasn't that way in 2019. You didn't have, or 2018 or whenever. It didn't have to be perfect. You were just there because it was new. Remember the days of people posting their lunch? Do they do that now? Some people do. I mean, if you're a chef, you want to show your food, but most people in the beginning were just posting just stuff, just ordinary random stuff and getting sales. That because it was early days. We were trying to figure out what social media was about. Now we know what it's about. It's about attention. The place to get attention.
Oh
And it's
wait,
getting crowded.
who said that a long time ago?
Who said it? I'm not who.
Gary V talked about attention.
Oh, yeah. That's his thing.
He talked about attention way back.
Yeah, that's his thing. And I love that he says, I'm not in love with social media. It can go away. He doesn't care about social media. He cares about where the attention is of people. And it doesn't have to do with social media. It doesn't have to do with technology. Go back to the market days, the biblical days, whatever day with the market and attention. The people needed to eat bread and fish. Where did they go? To the market.
Marketplace.
Or they went and caught it themselves. They went caught it themselves, but then the fisherman was like, okay, well, let's get the net and get the, or people making bread, make the bread and go to the market because they need is needed. People know where to go to get the stuff that they need.
Right.
They know. How do they know? How do the swallows, the cat, or the capistrano, how do they know where to go when they go? How do they know?
Instinct.
It's instinct. They know when to leave. They know when to come back. Any animal, whales, whoever, the penguins, they know, it's instinct in them that they know this is the season. Bears know when to hibernate. Swallows they know when to go and to come back. They know. So what are we doing all of this info? Because it's confusing. It can be confusing. Well, you got to keep it simple. You got to know what it is that you want as a business owner. We want money in the account. We want sales in the account. That's how we know if things are working, successful, or whatever. Not, I have 10 million followers. I have 30,000 followers. Yeah, okay. And what do those people do? They do what you tell them to do when you make a post and say, go to my link in bio, or, the process on Instagram now is, getting people to comment a word and Manny chat or whatever service sends them the thing because Instagram doesn't like when you tell them link in bio, all those little things that change. But still, we know to look at your link somewhere. If we want more, you can tell people. It's advisable to tell people, but remember, it's not selling. It's not sales like buy my product. Like you're going to hit them over the head with it. That doesn't move the needle. Moving the needle means that you have the correct solution to their problem.
So I believe it was you who were telling us about people. You want them, when they get to your newsletter or whatever, that's the place that you want them to gather. You're trying to get them in a place where they can hear from you. And the best way to do that is not necessarily on the Instagram channel or whatever, because of the scroll factor and some other stuff. They may miss something you have to say. But if they're on your list,
yes,
they can get whatever.
Or your SMS, like Bizchicks has the text SMS list.
Right. And it's to connect with them at the next stage.
Yes. It's I say breadcrumbs, I say customer relationship journey, however you want to get it. There's a system in place.
Okay.
And social media is the top. If you want to use funnel terminology, social media is the top of the funnel. It ain't the bottom.
And if you notice on a funnel, the bottom is a very small.
Yes.
It's not a big, wide.
Because what you had to offer is going to only apply to a small amount of people. But if you do things correctly, you're going to get the amount of sales or revenue that you decide that you need to be in order to be successful as a business. That's where pricing comes in. You can have one or two customers, but if the pricing is right, it's good. You can have
Right.
1,000 customers with a low ticket, or what they call low ticket offer, because more people are going to open their wallet. It's about opening the wallet. Does this fit what I need? Does this solve my problem? So I wrote this little paragraph I want everybody to remember. So social media offers your business the chance to connect with potential buyers, but it doesn't guarantee sales. It is, however, the quickest way to demonstrate that your products or services can solve the specific problem, not the problem, specific problems or pain points that your target audience has. To maximize this effectiveness, focus on addressing the most significant issues that concern your audience. That means, what is the primary problem that this group of people face? You don't know? AI will help you with that.
Right, because you can ask AI what
What are
before
the
you had to
25?
go do
You can say,
surveys.
what are the 25 top issues or problems that my target, and put the target audience in faces? What would be their basic questions? What would be, there's different ways to attack this, but you can use Copilot, you can use Gemini. You don't have to pay for a tool. ChatGPT is free. You don't have to pay, you don't have to sign up. Pick your tool, but use it to ask it a question that you don't have, I don't know the answer to, but ask it in different ways, different platforms. Use all that information and put it back. Like, what do I post on social media? Ask it. My website is blah. My target audience is blank. What do I post on social media to get their attention? It will give you an answer. Now, I'm not saying that it's 100% correct, but you, as a business owner, you kind of know, well, I like this. Let me use that, but let me refine it and let me put 2 or 3 pieces together from different places and make a coherent sentence or paragraph out of it and share that and see what happens. See, that's what it's about. Saving you time of, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to ask. What are the problems? In the olden days, they would have to do a survey. We would have to do a focus group and get 100 people or 50 people or 10 people or whatever people and say, la, 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 la. And then look at them and see what they said and take all that information and compile it. Generative AI does that for you. You could take that information and make a blog post. You can make a video. You can make a podcast. You can make whatever you want out of that text. There are tools that will do it for you easily. So that's where we are. The opportunity to connect. That's what social media is. It is not an ATM machine where you walk up with your card and the money spits out right away. It may take some time.
Oh, wait, do we got to work?
You got to figure out the system first. What works for your business and what will connect your business to a buyer. There may be 5 steps, there may be 25 steps, there may be 1 or 2, but you got to figure that out. And it's easy to figure out now because we have technology and tools that do it easily. If you want to do it, say, I want to talk to real people, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to wherever and say, hey, guys, I got a question about what do you think of X? And just let it lay and see what you get. If you don't get it on Instagram, post it on LinkedIn. If you don't get it on LinkedIn, post it on Facebook. Post it somewhere. Go to Threads. See what happens. Look at the answers. You'll be surprised. And that's what you need to do.
I think what we all need to do is get connected with terryjohnsononline.com. You can go to terryjohnsononline.com/info to get more details. Get on the list so that you can stay informed, because we're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. And in order to do that, Terry comes in on Tuesday to give us information and insight, so you don't have to be swimming out there with all that information. You can get it right here. Trusted information, vetted information, and you're here in a safe place.
Yeah,
No
safe place.
scams. No
You
scams.
got a
No,
question, asked. I was just gonna say, if you go online, find me Terry Johnson online everywhere. If you got a question that we haven't covered or you need clarification on something, ask me there. I'm happy to answer questions.
yep.
Because it's about business owners learning this. What do we do with this thing, this social media thing that we have, this tool that is this bad? People, it's bad. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. It is bad for some levels, but there's gonna have to be a level of education and knowledge, which we're trying to do here, other places are doing, and we gotta help each other out here.
And this is
Gotta
why
help each
we
other
are
out.
here.
So
Be- And
don't be afraid to ask a question.
mm-mm. We want to help you simplify your business processes, simplify your
Yes.
business life. And that is why we are here. We've been through the complicated, so you don't have to go through the complicated.
Yeah. I gotta help you see the simplicity of it. It's
Hmm.
complex, but there's a simplicity of it. When you sit down and figure out what it is that you want to do, where do I want to go? You're going on a journey. You plan your trip.
Yep,
How am I getting there? What's the best way? What are the roadblocks? But this is what we do here. So you want to be here. I know you want to be there. This is how we get it. And it's not just one way. We got to
correct.
find the best way that works for you and
Yep,
helps you get the goal that you want. That's the key to it. And there
right.
are many people out there selling selling hope in a jar, dreams, and master resale rights is a thing now. People are doing private label stuff, and all you gotta do is buy the system and put your name on it, and people will buy. And I'm seeing a lot of things on threads, see people saying that they spent all of this money on something where they can resell and it doesn't work. That's because these people out here, they've learned the game of selling you the dream. They make money
Right.
off of selling you the dream. And
They
once they
took a,
sell you, they're gone.
right. They took a course on how to sell you a course.
Yes. That's it
There's no
exactly.
substance in there. It was just how to sell you a course.
It's
And
all, and
that's
you
not
know
what,
what they do? They go to ChatGPT, Copilot, and they write la da 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 da, and they spit out generic stuff, and they copy and paste it and print it in Canva or wherever they put it, and they sell it to you. Oh, $4.97, $9.97. I'm like, these people are crazy. But you're buying it because they're selling you hope in a jar. They're selling you a dream and a wish, something that, okay, it's easy to do. Here's the shortcut. Here's the secret. And people, you want to do it the easy way. Like I said, the ATM machine, you want the money to spit out, but it doesn't work like that. Doesn't work. It can, but those are the people that know what they're doing. They're experienced, expert, whatever, and they're in it for real. They know how to put the car goes in and the money comes out. You sit back and you're in line behind them, seeing that they're doing stuff on social media and the money just spits out. And then some are lying and saying that the money is spitting out with these fake numbers. Oh, 6 figure, 7 figure. Some of those people are lying. Most of them are. But the process is there. But it's not, if you're learning how to ride a bike, you're gonna fall down like 100 times
right. And
and
you
you'll get
want
discouraged.
somebody to walk you through the process to help you understand what's going on. And it's better to get understanding than to just get a kit and you just put your
Mhm.
label on the kit. And then now you're also not helping the people down the line because you just got a kit and but didn't know the substance.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're here to help you with
Yep.
the substance, to
Yeah.
help you figure out how to do your business better. It's your business.
Mhm.
We're just helping you with the tools that can help you make
Yeah.
it better for you to
Yeah.
connect with the audience that gets you.
Yeah. And make sure that you're up on whatever's happening currently, like current stuff. Like,
Right.
you can't look at something from 10 years ago from social media or even 5 pre-pandemic. I'm like, don't we can't look at that because things change. The world has changed. So we
Yes.
must keep up with the changes, which is why you're here every week.
And that's why we're here to help you Take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run.
Yep.
And we invite you to join Bizchicks. Just text Biz to 33777 or go to bizchicks.net and sign up. That'll take you to our Substack. And we will be
Mhm.
sending out uh, our podcast is there. Um, whatever posts we got going on, you'll find all the details and information at bizchicks.net. So thank you again for being a part. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. TJ and I
Mhm.
will be back here next week.
Yep.
Tomorrow, Coach Karen is coming in with her money mindsets and
Mhm.
how you can bring profits in daily.
Yes.
We
Very
can do
important.
it. Yes. And then Thursday, Robin Shimizu is talking about happy, healthy habits. Then Terry, myself, Terralina, and Dr.
Dr.
Tachi
Tasha.
will be
Mhm.
there on Friday for Tech Life Weekly.
Yeah. What happened this week?
Yes, so many things are going down, but you'll
Yeah.
get the wrap up this Friday. So
Yeah.
we thank you for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next time. Make it a great week. Put your
Mhm.
questions in the chat. We want to
Yeah.
help you in any way we can. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. See you
All
next week.
right. See you next week.